And good morning, Man Hour Nation. Michael Bakashi here with the Man Hour. Check out manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Go check the blog section as well. We got an if and then Thursday coming up for you. What if the Broncos move up? What if the Jacksonville Jaguars are just plain trash? What if Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are trash? What if Caleb Williams drops with the first overall pick? What if? What if? What if? All that and much more right here on the Man Hour. But first.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
When this topic came up with me the other day, I did not want to talk about it. I did not want to address it. I did not want to even act like it even happened. But time has now gone past. Time has now moved on. And my former player, is being affected by this big time. Transgender athletes in America, whether it's swimming, whether it's football, whether it's soccer, field hockey, whatever. This has to stop. When I say that it has to stop because of this instance right here. Now, I understand the whole Leah Thomas thing and the Riley Grains and all that stuff. I understand that whole situation. I get it. But this has kind of put the icing on top of the cake. There's a transgender athlete in a lower level college, I believe they're Division III. I'm not going to name names by any stretch of the imagination because it's probably not going to make national news, and I don't really want to shine light onto the situation, but it kind of needs to be shined light on. This transgender athlete, which is biologically a woman, which now identifies as a man. Cool. You do you, kid. I don't care if you're gay, trans, whatever. You do you. But this female that identifies herself as a man was a running back for said team. She was trying to walk on to the team because, she thought it would be great media press, or I should say he thought it was a great media press for him, yada, yada, yada. Spring practice, week number 2, you start putting the pads on. Start getting a little popping. People are trying to make the team. People are trying to make a name for themselves. People are trying to, further their college career. This female running back, very small statured woman/man. I believe my player said they were about 5'7", 130 pounds, soaking ass wet. This player, strong safety, 6'2", 230 pounds, runs about a 4.5 40-yard dash. The play is a toss sweep to the left. Safety comes out and blows the running back to smithereens. I am talking picture perfect tackle, drive his ass into the dirt, put the dick in the mud or the vagina in the mud, whatever, and have yourself a nice day. Now this transgender athlete is suing the strong safety that made the hit for bullying. For bullying because he hit her/him too hard. Hit him too hard. The school is now backing the transgender athlete, saying this is bullying. Kick the player off the team for bullying. He made a tackle in a practice. He is trying to make the team himself. He's trying to earn himself a scholarship. You're going to kick him off the team for making one hell of a play? I saw the play. It was a hell of a play. He ripped underneath the lineman, stiffed arm, and then he blocked off the pulling guard and smacked the running back. It was a perfect play. Oh my God, it's amazing. Now this kid got kicked off the team for bullying. Now he's being sued for a hate crime. Guys, this has to stop. This has to stop. This is stupid at the end of the day. Emerson, I feel your pain, man. And if I could come up there and take that shot for you, I would be there in a heartbeat, brother. I would. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse with the Man Hour Show. Head over to NFLtoday.co. Check out the website. Check out the blog section. Check out the merchandise section. Check out the stats. Check out the stores. Check out the forums. Be a part over there. Become a Pigskin Pundit today. Click on the link below. Become a Pigskin Pundit. Support the show. Get yourself some merch. Get yourself some more Man Hour footage, behind the scenes footage, after hours footage. Hell, I have been tinkering with it, and all the Pigskin Pundits out there, I have the ability now to put 10 games up on my screen at the same time, so we all can watch all NFL live games right here if you become a Pigskin Pundit today. Click on the link below, and we will be able to do that. But this is a live interactive show, guys. Comments are encouraged. Talk your shit, but be ready to defend yourself in the comments below, because I do have one of the most toxic comic sections out there, and it begins with this man right here, Mr. John Peoples. What's up, John? Good morning to you, good sir. Hope you're having a grand old day. And he says, James is in the chat as well. James says, trans athletes is a one-way road. What do you mean by that, James? What do you mean it is a one-way road? Either you're for it or you're against it. Let's have a healthy discussion about this, because my man is getting derailed right now for the hate crime, right? John said the play's called Whiplash. He got his, yes. My man took himself from high school, inserted himself in the college game, took his best inner Buck Nasty and posted that kid. James says, post the link of the play. I gotta see it. He sent it to me via Snapchat, but I will reach out to said player and see if I can share it, because, like I said, he did get kicked off the team, and he is now in a court process for bullying/hate crime. So I'm not for sure where the whole legality thing starts, but I will reach out to him and see if he can actually send me the huddle link, and we will go from there. Wayne G is in the chat. Yeah. Comments are back. I forgot how dumb everybody is. John says the Dan Van Dyke show got canceled. That was well before my time. Who was the Dan Dyke? The Dick Van Dyke show. Is that what it is? My man Beastie Combs is in the chat. He says, Buck. What's up, Combsy? Hope you're having a grand old day. And he says, how long before the NFL is just flag football? That is a great question, Colmsy. That is a great question, because the simple fact of the matter is, I think at some point, kind of in like this transgender world that we're in now, in this world that we live in, we are going to hit that wall. We are going to hit that ceiling. We're going to try to go above it, and then it's going to crash, right? With this new kickoff rule. It is being tested for like a year. It's going to be exciting. People are going to be like, oh, this is awesome. Hitting's awesome. Playing football is awesome. Again. And then we're going to slowly start to see rules start to roll back a little bit, I think. I think the swivel hip tackle probably going to be introduced back into the game after this year, right? They're going to make a point of emphasis this season, and then it's going to be like, oh, yeah, about that. You are going to be able to start hitting receivers again. I think we are about at that apex of a point where football has gotten at its softest point per se. But I think we are eventually going to be rolling back. John says the Dick Van Dyke show was the early 50s and 60s. I don't think anybody in the chat besides John was born in the 50s or 60s. I'm just giving you, man. I'm just kidding you. But okay, I do vaguely remember seeing what's like the Beatles were on there and stuff like that. Like I vaguely remember the Van Dyke Show. James says only weak ass men want to compete against women in sports at the highest level. Women can't compete with men at the highest level. This is 100% fact. I actually had this conversation at work last night with a fellow co-worker, and we were talking about, it was a Saturday Night Live skit. It was with Terry Crews, right? If you guys don't know who Terry Crews is, he's a very, very large black man. This man's pecs have six packs. Like, he is just a very ripped individual. And he was playing tennis, and he was identifying as a woman at that particular time, and he was just like blowing the ball through the woman. It was a very hilarious but spot on skit. But if you want to take it one step further, look at the whole Leah Thompson thing, right? Well, this is 2 years ago now, right? It seems forever ago. But Leah Thompson, I don't know her man name. I forgot it. But in the male swimming, he was ranked like 330th, right? All he does is says, I'm a woman now, and all of a sudden she is the most dominant swimmer in women's sports. Like, it is crazy to me, right? Didn't get any faster, didn't get any stronger. Times actually got a little bit slower, but it just shows you that, unfortunately, in athletics, there's a reason why there's a women's sport and there's a men's sport, right? There's definitely that diversity in there. They're trying to force transgender into the NFL. Are they, though? I mean, the issue that I spoke about in Buck's Thoughts was it was at a low-level college, Division III. It happened in Division III college, right? What if something like that happens in the NFL? What if, let's say, I don't know, let's flash back. Let's say Tony Polamalu, right, comes over the field, blasts the dude, and is a woman. Then it just, I don't think we will ever see a transgender athlete in the NFL. Not because the NFL doesn't want it. Like when the first openly gay person came out from Missouri, right? The NFL kind of welcomed that, right? They're like, oh, we can include everybody now, right? Yada, yada, yada. If you get a transgender athlete into the game, it is going to be exploited, right? Make that money. But I believe James said it best. Men are superior than women in the athletic ability. I'm not trying to dog women's sports by any stretch of the imagination, but if, for example, we are going to see a prime example of it. Caitlin Clark, right? The Iowa basketball player, she's the highest scorer in NCAA history, right? Ice Cube offered her $5 million to come play in the Big Three with like Allen Iverson and aging old superstars, right? NBA superstars. We will see if that happens. She goes, plays for the Big Three, makes $5-6 million a season. We will see how dominant even 56-year-old NBA players are against women. I'll be kind of serious about. James says, yeah, I did a deep dive into the new kick rules as you suggested. I think you're right. It's going to possibly be pretty good. So as you guys know, the NFL did approve the NFL kickoff range here, or the new kickoff rule. I'm not for sure if I still got it pulled up, but that's the yeah. I actually don't have it pulled up anymore. But in a roundabout way, they have moved the front lines to the 40-yard of the receiving team, and the 35 is where the receiving team can line up. You basically have to catch the ball within the landing zone, and you have to advance it. There's no more fair catches, no more kicking out of the back of the end zone, because it's a very, very, very big penalty. You basically start at the 40 instead of the 20. So it's it is. But yeah, I am intrigued to see how it does translate into the NFL. And the XFL, it made it pretty exciting, right? It definitely put eyes on the game, the whole game. Let's see how the NFL does translate. I do like the 1-year trial. I would have preferred to seen it in preseason only, but we will get into that later. Wayne G says, the overreaction is crazy. Like in boxing, when they outlaw the low blow, some people griped, how long till it's just flag boxing? Wayne, you always seem to bring a level head to the conversation. You always bring the, kind of take the emotions out of the conversation. But I can see where a lot of these players are coming from. A lot of these fans are coming from. Every year, it makes the rule changes make it harder and harder for the defense to play defense the way, I guess, the great era we grew up watching, right? 90s, early 2000s, right? We've seen Antonio Brown get laid the F out coming over the middle of the field. Play after play after play. Hell, ESPN had a segment before the Monday night games called Jacked Up. And it was the biggest hits of the previous day. It was amazing. So I can see your point of view, Wayne G. I can see Combsy's point of view. I can see TJ Watt's point of view. I can see everybody's point of view. But at the end of the day, once you do start adding this, just like I tell my players, this is one of my spring speeches, right? Once we're going through the grind of the day, yada, 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 I just want you to get 1% better. Every day, get 1% better. 1% way better, 1% better, 1% better, 1% better, right? By the end of the season, you are going to be 150% better just because you got 1% better each and every day. That's kind of what, I can kind of see what the NFL is doing right now. Every year at the rules competition, they take 1% away. They take another 1% away. They take another 1% away. Now, I hate comparing the 90s and 2000s football to today's, but all of those defensive plays in the 90s and 2000s, hell, 2010, they're illegal now because they consistently take 1% away. Play after play after play, or year after year after year, they take 1% away. Never in the last 5 years have they changed an offensive rule. The tush push. I would say that is one of the most dangerous plays in football. More dangerous than the hit swivel tackle. What's his face? Tank Dell from the Houston Texans broken leg on the tush push. They didn't even entertain the idea of outlawing that play. Oh, because it keeps the offense on the field, keeps the play going, keeps the scoring going, right? Every year the rules are changed, abbreviated, whatever you want to call it, to make the defense harder and the offense easier. I think that's what that is the emphasis of what everybody is trying to say. Combs says, you know what's going to happen. AFC title game, Chiefs are going to be down by 6 at 4th and 23 when Mahomes takes off and a defender gets flagged for a hip drop tackle. Listen, Combs, you might be spot on, man. Because think about this. A quarterback such as Patrick Mahomes. Let's put another light-skinned quarterback out there. Maybe Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, right? They are scrambling down the field. If you hit him square, hit him hard, it's going to be it is going to be a flag because you hit him too hard. You try to take him out at the knees, well, guess what? That is illegal too because you hit him too low. You try to wrap him up and slightly lay him down, put a pillow under his head like the Atlanta Falcons did to Tom Brady. Flag, hip swivel tackle. Combsy, you might be onto something, but three-peat is coming. Three-peat is something. John says, don't matter. You did say suing that said player. Don't matter. You say, I did say that the person that got hit, the transgender athlete that got their dick put in the dirt, actually vagina put in the dirt, is suing said player for a hate crime. Yes, you are correct. Combs says, what's the overreaction? Let's just take the defense off the field and go back and just go for the rated trick shots for points. Yeah, let's just have a Pro Bowl game, right? Just have the dummies run across the field and have Russell Wilson throw the pass to him, whatever, right? My man Carson Lang is in the chat, he says they still don't know what it is a catch either, right, Cowboys fans? Too soon, Carson Lang. That is too soon. Because Dez did catch it. If Dez would have caught it and the referees would have caught it correctly, the 30-year funk that the Cowboys have been in would have been erased. What was that? 2003, whenever it was, 2005. It would have been a totally different game. The Cowboys would have been like 4-time Super Bowl champs by now. And Combs is right. Dez did catch it. Jay Jillian's in the chat as well. He says the Lions are coming for the Chiefs. Weren't the Lions coming for the Chiefs last year? Weren't the Lions raining on everybody's parade last season when the Lions beat the Chiefs opening day? Oh, we here, baby, Super Bowl bound. Yes, you guys had a great season. I will give you that. However, this offseason, Jay, I know you've been talking up your boys a lot this offseason, Jay. I know you think the Detroit Lions had one of the best off seasons all forever. But I got to looking at it, and I am not so sure the Lions had a very good off season, to be honest. Yes, they did add a few pieces here and there, right? But when you consistently losing pieces on the receiver side, Josh Reynolds is now a Denver Bronco. You lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Yes, I know he was out for most of the season. He's still a kind of a guy. Right? You got Sutton strangling people. He's got dismissed. You better slow your roll on the Detroit Lions because the Chicago Bears are coming, baby. We will see. We'll see. Carson says the most penalized offense holding has no holding calls against him in 3 Super Bowl wins. NFL is on Mahomes' nuts. So I'm glad you brought this up, Carson. So basically what Carson is saying, the Chiefs had now gone through 3 Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes and won 3 Super Bowls, right? Or they've gone to 4 and they've won 3. They have had technically 0 holding calls in those Super Bowls. I have not fact checked that whatsoever. I've seen the meme floating around over and over and over again. And I'm just going to assume that it is true. Because Carson's saying it, other people are saying it. I believe Ryan Clark even said it as well, right? But the point of the matter is penalties in the Super Bowl are kind of a lost art, right? I mean, if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles game, I don't remember really more than 5 flags that whole game. Granted, one of them was a very, very big holding call on Bradbury, which changed the outcome of that Super Bowl. I get it. And then if you look at the 49ers Super Bowl last season versus the Chiefs, I think there's a total of maybe 3 flags, and 2 of them came on back-to-back plays on the left guard of the 49ers, right? A false start, and then he was holding the very next play. That was Trent Williams, if I'm not mistaken. So really, I think the referees are kind of wanting to keep the flag in the pocket during the Super Bowl. They don't want to have the Super Bowl decided by a flag or decided by a missed call, or, you know, I mean, you have to look at it at both ways. In those Super Bowls, how many holding calls have been called on other teams like as well? So I would be serious to see if anybody has done that research. John says, between Dak or Linda Lovelace, I choose Linda. Don't choke on the big one. What the hell are you talking about, John? Between Dak or Linda Lovelace, I choose Linda. She don't choke on the big one. Who is Linda? I don't know who Linda is, John. I'm not trying to sound like an oxymoron here, but I don't know who Linda is. Jay also says, if the Lions were in the Super Bowl, they would have won it. I don't think so. The Chiefs were clicking at the right. So when you make a Super Bowl run, i.e. the Giants, right, when they beat the undefeated Patriots, i.e. the Chiefs their first time, right, sometimes teams just click at the right time. They get hot at the right time, and they cannot be beat, right? The Detroit Lions, let's say that game ended differently. Let's say somehow, some way, Dan Campbell doesn't go for it on fourth down, and they stop the 49ers on the next one, and they score to go up by 3, and they win the game, right? The Kansas City Chiefs were mediocre most of the season. I said it well before the playoffs. We have not seen the Kansas City Chiefs A game yet. They have not put a complete game together yet. What they do, they put a complete game together against the Miami Dolphins. They do it against the Buffalo Bills. They do it against the Baltimore Ravens. And then they did it against the San Francisco 49ers as well. I don't think no team was beating the Kansas City Chiefs last season in the playoffs. I don't care if it was the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I don't care if it was the Lions. I don't care if it was the best of the Dallas Cowboys from 1996. Nobody was beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl last season. Dez absolutely caught that shit. It was a garbage call. Yeah. Combs says the Bears now have added Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, and Malik Neighbors, just to name a few, coming from the Lions. Listen, let's talk about Caleb Williams a little bit here. Caleb Williams is kind of on this emotional roller coaster, right? People are dogging the man for having lip gloss and pink fingernails and a pink phone case at a USC basketball game just the other day. People are coming out and saying, hey, this man isn't going to cut it in the NFL. We don't need no Fruit Loops. We don't need this. This guy isn't going to be a leader of men, yada, yada, yada. Wayne G said it yesterday that he feels that the Bears are going to trade out of that first overall pick and trade it to the Commanders. The Commanders then will probably take Caleb Williams. So, guys, let me ask you this question. The first if and then statement of the day. Let's get into the show. Caleb Williams seems to be all but the number 1 overall pick. The Bears do hold the number 1 overall pick, and they need a quarterback. They still have Tyson Bagent, which I love. They are going to draft a quarterback. But let me ask you guys this question. If Caleb Williams doesn't go number 1 overall, then what? Then what? When we look at Caleb Williams, he seems to be really of an emotional roller coaster, right? Some people say he wears the game on his sleeve. Some people say he's soft. I don't know. I am not going to make a judgment of a person that I have not seen interview or really communicate outside the game of football. When you put on the tape, Caleb Williams is a very, very good athlete. Caleb Williams is a very, very good quarterback. When you turn on the pro day, Caleb Williams hit all the marks. Had a perfect pro day, as he should. But if Caleb Williams doesn't go number 1 overall, then I think other teams are going to start to panic. I think there is going to be some panic at the disco if Caleb Williams doesn't go number 1 overall. Are there some people making red flags out of what's the old saying? Are they making a mountain out of a molehill? Possibly. But I do not think Caleb Williams goes to the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears are putting all this big up smoke screen saying, hey, we are sold on this guy. We are 100% sold on this guy. We are going to take him, yada, yada, yada. And they're going to end up taking Jaden Daniels, Combsy. They're going to end up taking Jaden Daniels, and they're going to cause mass chaos for the second pick in the Commanders, and the third pick of the Patriots, the fourth pick of the Cardinals. There's going to be mass hysteria going on if Caleb Williams does not go to the Chicago Bears. It is what it is, right? So Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think? Does Caleb Williams go number one? And if he doesn't, what happens? James says the Lions are going to take a step back. So James says Lions are going to take a step back. Book it right now. Book it right now. March 28th, 10:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. James says the Lions are taking a step back. How so? Fixed cornerback issues. O-line is better. Are you really talking about Connor Godwin Jr., Reynolds and Sutton right now? I am. I think James is right. I think the Lions are going to take a step back. We talked about this about the Houston Texans just a few days ago. It is easy to be the hunter. It is easy to wear the bright orange vest, go into the woods and, get that deer. Pew! Got your ass, boy. Well, guess what? The Lions are now the deer. The Lions are now consistently going to be sought after game after game after game. Now, I don't care if you've gotten a little bit better or a lot better or you've digressed a little bit. The simple fact of the matter is the Detroit Lions have now become the hunted. They got the X on the back. They got the bullseyes on their dome piece. Teams want to knock off the Giants. It's tough to show up game after game for 17 games, for 18 weeks of the NFL season, 29 weeks of the NFL season, right? From preseason to postseason. It is tough. If a frog had wings, it would be a bird. Tyler Helton's in the chat. What's up, Tyler? There's a new name I haven't seen for before. He says, salute to you. Salute to you as well. Google her, says John. He's referring to Linda Lovelace, right? She's a vintage porn star, says James. Well, of course it's going to be vintage. John is still living in the 60s. my man, does he even know it's 2024? He's like, man, yesterday I saw a 1943 El Camino go rolling down the street. John, they haven't made those in 60 years, man. Lions suck. Combs says, Jay, the Lions would have lost too. The rest would have made sure of it, meaning the Chiefs versus the Lions. Man, does everybody know who Linda Lovelace is besides me? She's a porn star. That van swallowing a big hog, I'm guessing. And then Jay says, let's talk about how well the Bears develop their quarterbacks. Listen, the Bears have not developed any of their quarterbacks. If they would have put time in Mitchell Trubisky, they would have not been in this situation right now. I'm just going to be honest. If they would have put time into Justin Fields, they would not be in this situation right now. I don't think the issue in Chicago is the drafting of the quarterbacks. It's the coaching of the quarterbacks, right? Matt Eberflus should have been fired last year. Let's just be flat out honest. Anybody out there that doesn't think Matt Eberflus should have already been fired in Chicago is a nut hugger. This man lost 14 straight games in a row. 14 games in a row he lost. 10 straight home games he has lost. He has never beaten the Green Bay Packers. Of course, have the Chicago Bears ever beaten the Green Bay Packers? I don't know. I understand the Bears do have issues at quarterback. Combsy, he says, dude can wear a sundress for all I care as long as he's good at football. He's third on my big 4-4 quarterback still behind Drake May and Bo Nix. Hang on. Combsy, my man, the myth, the legend, my co-host here on Man Hour when he has opportunities to, he's saying Bo Nix and Drake May are quarterbacks 1 and 2, and Caleb Williams is number 3. Is that what you're saying, Combsy? Or are you saying Jaden Daniels is behind them? So you're saying Caleb Williams, then Bo Nix, Drake May, and then Jaden Daniels. I'm going to need some clarity on that one. There is no way you're putting Caleb Williams behind Bo Nix, Drake May. Wayne G says, I hope Caleb wears a dress to every game, then busts his opponent for 350 and 4 tutties. Oh, Canada. Listen, if this happens, if Caleb Williams does go to Chicago and he breaks over 300 yards, let's say 4 games in a row, Chicago fans are going to go crazy. Brandon Combs is going to be up here saying, I love Caleb Williams. He's going to get Caleb Williams' dress tattooed on his butt. The Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer ever in their franchise. Ever have the Chicago Bears had a 4,000-yard passer in their franchise. And if Caleb Williams throws for 350 and 4 tutties, let's just say every home game, that man's going to break 4,000 yards. I watched some of the non-holding calls on Bosa in the Super Bowl. I have arrested people for violating people less than Bosa got violated. Oh, Carson, you are a beautiful cop. Serving Riley County finest out there. Why are you all giving 12-year-olds $15 or $115 parking tickets? James said it. He said this, he's repeating it again. He says Caleb is going to be a mid at best. James, you said that, 2 weeks ago, last week? And he's sticking by the guns. Caleb Williams is going to be a mid draft pick. Just a mid-level quarterback. Tyler says, watch out. Kansas City Chiefs are coming with the 3-peat incoming. Listen, with the addition of Hollywood Brown, I hope you are correct. I hope Hollywood Brown in Kansas City is successful, Tyler, because I do not like Hollywood Brown at all. I do not like him as a player. I do not like him as a person. I can't say I do not like him as a person because I personally don't know him. But as a football player, I do not like him. I do not like his attitude. I do not like his ego. I do not what he brings to a team. But if this is correct, Hollywood Brown is going to be the reason for the 3-peat. But it is what it is. Carson thinks the Lions are going to go receiver first round. Really? Let's look at the Detroit Lions. Let's look at their receiver room because they just re-signed Jonathan People-Jones, if I'm not mistaken here. When we go to NFLtoday.co and look at the depth chart, they have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They also have Jameson Williams, Donovan People-Jones, and Khalif Raymond. Raymond's kind of, I feel like, is kind of a bust. But obviously, I am not huge. If you guys want to dive deep into lines talk, my man Luke G knows him inside and out. But by just those 3 names that I named there, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Donovan People-Jones, I think that is a pretty good receiving core. Plus, you got Sam Laporta, which probably should have won Rookie of the Year. But the Lions are sitting at 30 or 28th, 29th pick. There are some good receivers that are going to go in that bottom first round, and I don't think the Lions can make a wrong pick, to be honest. Jay says, didn't Caleb have 30 fumbles in 31 games in a subpar conference? I don't know, did he? I also think he did pretty well at Oklahoma. But I think watch out for the Chiefs. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Combsy says there's no way they traded Fields to also trade number 1. Why not? Combsy, you are a Chicago Bears fan through and through. You've been a Chicago Bears fan as long as I've known you and well before that. You are a Chicago sports fan. You've weathered the storms. You've done this. You've done that. Name me one successful quarterback that the Chicago Bears have drafted. Name me one quarterback that the Chicago Bears said, this is a for surefire pick. We are drafting this guy. Justin Fields, no longer on the team. Mitchell Trubisky moved up to get him. No longer on the on the team. The best way for the Bears not to fail, not to F up this number 1 overall pick, is to move down in the draft. If James is correct, Caleb Williams is just a mid-level quarterback. He is a Eli Manning. He is a Baker Mayfield. He is a Geno Smith type of player. If James is correct, you are going to get ridiculed. Oh, the Bears messed up again. Oh, the Bears messed up again. Oh, the Bears messed up again. Why not let the Commanders mess up? Why not let the Raiders mess up? Why not let the Vikings mess up in your division, right? Why not let the Broncos mess that pick up? Slide down to number 2, slide down to number 3, whatever. You still get a quarterback. You're still a damn good quarterback. You can still get your Drake May. You can still get your J.J. McCarthy. You can still get your Jaden Daniels at 2 or 3, hell, if not number 4. And the Caleb Williams funk is off of you. You no longer saying, man, we missed on the number 1 overall pick. Damn, we missed on another quarterback. If I'm the Bears, I want out of that first pick. Too much pressure. I want out of that first overall pick. But it is what it is. So did Sanchez and Barkley and Leinart. USC's quarterbacks are OSU's quarterbacks of the East Coast. USC is kind of a quarterback hell, right? We talk about how bad the Ohio State quarterbacks are, right? CJ Stroud, maybe you broke that stigmatism a little bit. But ever since Carson Palmer, has USC really produced a good quarterback? Some people are saying, not me, I don't think a college represents how you will translate into the NFL. But unfortunately, the track record is proven that Ohio State quarterbacks do flutter out in the NFL. USC quarterbacks since Carson Palmer kind of flutters out in the NFL. Maybe James is onto something. Wayne G says, Williams will not, and I repeat, will not, under any circumstances, get picked later than number 2. So you don't... Everybody thinks that Caleb Williams is going number 1 overall. I just watched Draftgate again last night at work. Absolutely loved that movie. Everybody anticipated that quarterback going number 1 overall. When he didn't, he fell. People were panicking. People were like, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this guy? Why are they not taking him? What is wrong with this guy? Bo Callahan, right? I could see it happening with Caleb Williams, honestly. If he doesn't go number 1, and if he does pass number 2, he might fall to number 11, to number 12, number 13. He might. Comey says, Buck picks the Lions to win every year, and they lose. They finally win. Now he says they're taking a step back. True. Combs also says the Bears' problem is not the QB. It's the coaching staff. If they got that wrong again, it won't matter what QB we draft. Yeah, James says, Combsy, Bo Nix. Yeah, wow. This is Combsy's big board right here. He has Drake May going number 1 overall. The latest mock draft that I saw from... was it Bucky something or another, had Drake May going number 11. Then he has Bo Nix at number 2. I don't think Bo Nix is going in the second round. Bo Nix will probably fall, to me personally, into mid-second round. Then he has Caleb Williams at number 3. And then Jaden Daniels. Combsy, I love you like a brother, but you are wrong, man. You are wrong. Bo Nix does not deserve. Bo Nix is not the second best quarterback in the draft. And Caleb Williams, number 3, that's a stretch. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have an MVP next year. He should. I think the MVP is a flawed thing. I think the MVP is the most overrated award in the NFL at this particular point. At this point, it should just be named the quarterback award. Who was the best quarterback who was the quarterback on the best team? That's basically what it comes down to. Because last year, yes, Lamar Jackson did have a great season. Yes, Lamar Jackson did put up some fairly good numbers. Yes, Lamar Jackson did will his team to the number 1 overall seed. I get it. But so did Brock Purdy. That is a debate for another day. But Tyler thinks Patrick Mahomes will win the MVP next season. Combs says, I agree with James. I just hope we are wrong if the Bears draft him. Carson says, F them kids. John also says, so John has become a Lions fan as well. John is a Raiders fan, but then when the Lions start to win and the Raiders lose, he becomes a Lions fan. John says Gibbs can catch passes too. True. They always go receiver number 1. The Lions don't always go receiver number 1, Carson. Last year they got Gibbs at number 10. Jim McMahon. Carson says Justin Fields is still going to be a good quarterback, just not with the Bears. I agree. So when Justin Fields got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I said on the show the very next day, I think the Steelers have the best quarterback room now in the NFL. Starter, backups, the whole room, I think they have the best quarterback room. Ideally, Justin Fields probably sits at least half of the season, learns from Russell Wilson a little bit. If Russell starts to struggle, insert Justin Fields. Mike Tomlin knows this. You cannot have musical chairs at quarterback. Once you bench Russell Wilson and put Justin Fields in, you have to stick with Justin Fields for the rest of the year. Otherwise, a big ego kick. With that being said, I think Justin Fields will have a successful NFL career. I think Combs said it that on any other team, Justin Fields is probably a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's going to win a Super Bowl this year probably with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Combs needs a geography test. He says, is it USC on the West Coast? Yes. But I believe what they were saying, they misspoke. They basically said USC is Ohio State on the West Coast. That's basically what they were sort of saying. Oh, Wayne G with the logic here. He says, why base draft day predictions on the movie Draft Day? Why not Step Brothers? Because it's based off of a true story or something like that. Tyler Hilton says, how much for a membership? We have a deal for $4.99. Tyler, for $4.99 gets you merch every quarter. So we get 4 either hoodies or t-shirts out to you every quarter. The second quarter merch is getting ready to roll out here within the next few days. April 1st is when we're rolling out. So there's still time to sign up. I'll get your mailing address and we'll actually send you out a shirt. It takes about 10 days for it to get to you. But along with that membership, Tyler, you get after show footage. You get live game reactions. Now I just realized that I can do that. So we can put 8 or 9 games. We can put all the games up and have one big game and translate them through. And we all can talk about them shit to shit. So if you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan like I am and don't live in Kansas City and the game happened to be a Sunday afternoon and they bump the Chiefs for a Ravens, you pissed off about it, we can watch the Chiefs game together right here. Timothy Nicola is in the chat and says the Bears draft Bo Nix. I think that would make Combsy very, very happy because Bo Nix is his number 2 quarterback coming off the board. Oh my God, how is Mahomes winning the MVP? Because he is the best quarterback on the best team. That is what an MVP award is now. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Maybe, just maybe, says Carson Lang, the Bears draft a shit quarterback. Then their shit coaching staffs, the 2 negatives make a positive. Carson Lang has nailed the algorithm. Carson Lang just blew up the NFL landscape. Basically, Matt Eberflus is a shit-ass coach. Let's just be honest. I don't know how he has a job. Maybe, just maybe, the Bears do draft Bo Nix. Bo Nix will be a good quarterback in the NFL. I think he won't be elite by any stretch of the imagination. But what if the Bears take one step further? What if the Bears draft, I don't know, Spencer Rattler? Probably not going to have a very good NFL career in my eyes. Going to be a career backup. But you draft Spencer Rattler. Shit quarterback. Let's go ahead and put that shit label on him. Shit ass coach with Eberflus. Two negatives do make a positive. Carson, you have now officially been hired as general manager as the Chicago Bears. Your job is to draft every shit ass quarterback and hire every shit ass coach and see what happens. Timothy says the Chiefs are getting weaker. The Chiefs have lost some key pieces this offseason. The L'Jarius Sneed trade was kind of a shocker to me, right? You franchise tagged him and you let him go you did let him go for a third and a fifth round pick. I thought he would worth at least a second round pick, if not a first round pick, but they traded him. They got the third and fifth overall pick, and he signed a massive deal with the Titans. But the good thing about the Chiefs, Timothy, is Brett Veach, their general manager, has been doing a great job in the drafts the last 6, 7, 8 years. Ever since the Patrick Mahomes, probably a couple years before that, they have been nailing the draft year after year after year after year. What was it, 2021? Tyreek Hill walks away from the Kansas City Chiefs. People are like, oh, the Chiefs are done. The high-flying offense is done. You lost your best receiver. You lost the best receiver in the league. They are done. I sat here on the show with Colmsey, and I said sometimes addition by subtraction is best for the team. Because you saw it in 2020. Patrick Mahomes was forcing the ball to Tyreek Hill play after play after play. Ultimately ended up biting them in the ass. Next year, lose Tyreek Hill. You don't really have that number one receiver. The offense is kind of struggling for like a little bit, but they figure it out and they win us to Super Bowl. So addition by subtraction by the Chiefs have been pretty good the last couple seasons. You can say they're getting weaker, but they're really just the core is just getting that much stronger. So I understand you're a Chiefs hater, but the point of the matter is they are a really, really good team. As long as they have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and a decent old line, they'll be A-okay. Carson says they still effed up the quarterback award last year. He put up good rushing numbers. As far as Lamar Jackson, you are correct. John says, I am both, but the Raiders are my team. I know, John. I'm just giving you shit. Everybody they can go for an NFC and an AFC team, but the people that I have problem with are the ones that have like two teams in the same division. Pick one and figure it out. If the Steelers start Wilson, says Carson, they will have a good quarterback room. Fields number 1, Wilson number 2. So you're saying if the Steelers start Wilson, they will not have a good quarterback room. Justin Fields is better than Russell Wilson. I don't know. I am really intrigued to start watching training camp and OTAs with the Pittsburgh Steelers just to see how Justin Fields and Russell Wilson interact with each other. Is there going to be a friendly encounter? Is it going to be a father-son relationship, or are they actually going to be butting heads? Steelers need to be on Hard Knocks. JJ McCarty is a backup. I can't wait to watch the Vikings trade up and trade for him. Many people have J.J. McCarty going now number 2 overall to the Commanders, so that would be a big, big jump. They tried that with Matt Nagy and Mitchell Trubisky. The math don't math, though. No, Mitchell Trubisky was a really good quarterback. Matt Nagy was just a terrible coach, terrible head coach. James said this yesterday, and he is repeating it again. Chiefs are going to sign Xavier Howard to replace Snead, and they're going to get one great year out of him. That's all we need. One, and then he just moved it to Miami. And Timothy says, was you a Chiefs fan before they started winning? Yes, I am from Kansas City, and I have been a Chiefs fan my whole life. I have also been a Cowboys fan since I was like 4th grade, right? Because I became a Cowboys fan because my uncle was a Cowboys fan. And when you are a young person and you look up to your uncle as I looked up to my uncle, I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to root for the same team he like he did. So in the 90s, I was rooting for the Braves and for the Cowboys, right? Because that's who he rooted for. But deep down, I was always a Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan my whole life, gone to several games. And what does it matter? So this is the one question that I have for people just like this. Oh, were like you a fan before they started winning? Does it really matter? That's the question that I'm going to ask. Does it really matter? Were you a fan of an iPhone before the iPhone became popular? Did you have an iPhone 4? Did you have an iPhone 5? Or did you switch from Android to iPhone? Or did you move from iPhone to Android? You only switched to iPhone because they're popular now. Everybody has them. Okay. Maybe just because I like it. Just because I believe my man Matthew Cross, Matthew Lyle. He does the Matthew Lyle show here in Louisville, Kentucky. He is a Kentucky show. I watch it from time to time. Actually help produce it for a little while. He says he changes his NFL team every year based on the product that they're putting that they are putting out. I am not going to spend my hard-earned money on merchandise, on tickets, on supporting the team if they're not putting out a good product. If the Raiders are not putting out a good product year after year after year, I'm not going to fault John for becoming a Lions fan, for becoming a Chargers fan. If you like what the product that the Chargers are putting out, why can you not be a fan of it? Right? If you do not like the fan, if you do not like the product of what the iPhone, of what Apple products are putting out, you become a fan of Android. It's not going to fault you. It's your money at the end of the day. You can support who you want. I don't care when you started becoming a Chiefs fan. I don't care when you became a Royals fan. I don't care when you become a Bears fan. It doesn't matter. It's your money. You can support who you want. But I have been a lifelong Chiefs fan. Carson says they added the refs in their pockets, so they're getting somewhere where it matters. Oh, Combs, he says, stop it. Meaning Mitchell Trubisky and Matt Nagy. Combs says, and a Packers fan and a Lions fan. Okay, let me clarify something. I am a Chiefs fan, number one, Combsy. Cowboys are my number 2 team. I have an AFC team and an NFC team. I think everybody shoot. I root for the Packers because Packers are my wife's team. My wife is also a Broncos fan. I do passively root for the Broncos because she likes to root for them. And you know, as you know, going on your, marriage here, happy wife, happy life. Leave Manauer, Hoffy, and then this is out to defend himself. I'm not picking on Hoffy. The only time I pick on Hoffy was when he was a Patriots fan and then a Miami Dolphins fan and the Buffalo Bills fan last year, and that was to his face. Carson says, did Wilson move into a studio apartment there so there's no concern about him having more bedrooms and touchdowns? Probably not. I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson did buy the biggest house in Pennsylvania, so it's a triple wide trailer. No, I'm just kidding. Timothy says, okay. I'm a Denver Nuggets fan now. And Denver Nuggets are putting out a pretty good product right now. I wouldn't fault you for it. We knew you was half in the closet. Jim Powell is in the chat. Good morning, Jim. He says, I'm late. Everyone is wrong. What I miss? We just been shooting the shit today, Jim. We've been answering all the comments. We've been going back and forth. We've been having a grand old time. These are the type of shows that I absolutely love. No structure whatsoever, just going to the comments. Comey says, I pick on Hoffy all the time. Even sent his new baby some nice Cub outfits. This is facts. We are all brothers at the end of the day. And I feel like if you cannot pick on your friends to their face or behind them, they're really not your friends. Just like Combsy makes fun of my stutter all the time. But if you do it, he's going to beat your ass. It's because we're friends. Dolphins, then the Patriots. No, Hoffy's team was the Patriots. Look at his wall. He has all the Tom Brady stuff on there. Last year, Arthur Brown bought him a Tua jersey. So he is just like, I'm a Dolphins fan now. Go Dolphins. And the Dolphins started to tank and then became a Buffalo Bills fan. And then he was like, oh, I actually been a 49ers fan the whole time. That was Hoffy. Jim says all houses in Westford, Pennsylvania are on hillsides. Everyone has one leg shorter than the other. Judy loves the outfit. Hoffy was not impressed. As he wasn't. Because Hoffy is... Combsy, what is Hoffy's major league team anyways? Is it the Sox? Is he a Red Sox guy? I do know he was wearing the city outfits just the other day. But it is what it is, guys. But guys, that is the hour. The hour has flying by. Great interaction in the comments today, guys. Really no structure to the show whatsoever. We were just sitting here shooting the shit the whole time. But unfortunately, guys, I got to go into work early today. Been working 12s all week because we're off tomorrow. But we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. 10 a.m. East Coast time right here on Facebook.com. Of course, YouTube.com. If you guys haven't done so already, like the live stream while you're doing to it. Share with a couple friends as well because sharing is caring. But ELE, everybody, love everybody. See you tomorrow.